And a very good afternoon to you from the sports desk. Let's get on the road. South African racing prodigy Mika Abrahams is gearing up for the start of his new challenge in the GB3 Championship as his journey in motorsport soars on an upwards trajectory. The GB3 Championship is a prominent stepping stone for young drivers who are aiming to advance their careers in competitive environment, with races held across Europe. The Mzansi speedster, who just returned from his testing run ahead of the season 2025, is looking to make a strong mark in this level of competition. Probably still jet-lagged, Mika has made time to join us here at Newzroom Afrika 405 to reflect on the testing sessions, including the remarkable Silverstone, the fastest car, and his new campaign. Mika, a very good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Jet-lagged? No?
No, not really.
Well, I guess racing, if you're used to those fast cars, you don't get jet-lagged much, do you?
I think the adrenaline's still pumping.
Oh, is that
I missed the car, so...
Yeah. Thank you so much for making time to speak to us. Last time I spoke to you, it was something completely different. You've moved on to GB3. Tell me about that transition, how it has been for you.
It's been a pretty tricky challenge for me. I mean, naturally, a car is like my home, so it's always like going back home, but it's like going from like an apartment to a mansion. That's like an example I would make of it. So it's been tricky because I haven't been in a car for a year. The last time I drove a car was in June of 2024. And coming back from being in Formula 4, which is way slower than what I'm driving now, a British Formula 3 car, it was obviously a tricky step up and, adjusting to everything, being back in my old team, being back in England, same tracks but in a different car. It was a lot of adapting to do, but being in a new faster car.
So what's the big difference? Is it a faster car?
Way faster.
Yeah.
Faster engine.
How faster? Like explain it to me in layman terms.
If you had to just...
What's the highest speed you would reach in an British F3?
260.
Okay.
And then through the corners, it's way faster. That's where it's faster.
Yeah. Let me, before we continue, bring in Richard Dutton to joining us all the way in the UK via Zoom. Richard, a very good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon to you guys.
I'm sitting here with Mika talking to us about the new challenge. From your perspective as a team, are you excited to have Mika back? As he says, it's been almost like a year since he's been in a car.
Absolutely. We had a fabulous time with Mika back in 2023 when he was first old enough to drive at the end of 2023. So it was a joy to have him back in the team. He's like part of our family, and it was a really nice feeling to have him running with us again. And he was a bit rusty because he hadn't driven for 9 months. But he soon adapted to the new car and did a fabulous job in the 5 days of testing that we put together for him. So it was it was very impressive, especially the last day. He was on the pace on the last day. So really great to have him back with us here in England.
I mean, he had a few podiums last time around. Looking at what you have seen so far, despite the rustiness, possible championship contender?
Absolutely, yeah. For what we've seen this week, he definitely has caught up very quickly with the top guys. The level of competition here is really very, very high. And just in the short period that we had him testing, he got himself on the pace straight away. So he is definitely a very, very strong competitor to win the championship. So we're excited to have him back here, and we're excited to win the championship again.
Mika, let me bring you back into the conversation. As Richard is saying, you only had 5 days of testing. From your perspective, being in the car, how did that go, despite the rustiness being out of the car for just over 9 months or so?
Well, I mean, first of all, it was obviously enjoyable. That's the first thought that goes through my head. But I mean, it also at the back of your head, you know, there's little margin for error. You don't have a lot of time. You have so much to make up in such a short window, and everyone around you, they've been driving a car for multiple days more and for months more. So it's just more so just making sure I had to deliver and play catch up really fast, and you know, show what I can do as well.
But what was that like? I mean, do you find yourself that you're a little bit under a bit of pressure in that you have only 5 days and you have not been, driving for a while?
No, of course, it's I think probably one of the highest pressure experiences I've ever been in. But it motivated me more to do well, and I mean, it went hand in hand. So I had a lot of pressure, but it led to me enjoying it as well.
Richard, let me bring you back into the conversation. I mean, tell us a little bit about the car and what makes it different and what can we expect? I mean, he says it's a faster car.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so he raced in Formula 4 before, FIA Formula 4, which has got an Abarth turbo engine, 160 brake horsepower. This has got a Cosworth Ford engine, 280 brake horsepower. It's a brand new car. It has DRS, so on the straights they can take the wing off. They can automatically take the wing off, so it goes a lot faster down the straights, which is new to outside of Formula 1 and Formula 2 and Formula 3 have it. Only the FIA Formula
Talk
3,
to us.
1,
Yeah.
2. DRS is where the wing opens and you go 20 miles an hour faster.
Talk to us briefly, if I may, Richard, in the interest of time, about the transition. I mean, naturally, I would presume that every other rider, and I'll ask Mika the same thing, is to move to Formula 1. What are the steps towards that, and how from Formula 1 to Formula, from Formula 4 to Formula 1?
From Formula, this is Formula 3.
Yes.
The car he's driving now is a Formula 3 car. There is this championship runs in UK and it runs in Europe. There's Formula 2 between Formula 3 and Formula 1 is Formula 2, which is a bigger car again, a faster car again, and then it's Formula 1. The 4 rookies are currently in Formula 1 this year for the first time, have just come out of Formula 2, and Ollie Beerman only 3 years ago was racing with us in GB3, which is what Mika, the championship that Mika will be competing in.
Right.
So he's most probably 3 years away from Formula 1.
Mika, very quickly, I'm out of time. Just from your perspective, when are you eyeing that Formula 1, and do you feel that it's coming closer as you keep on advancing through the stages?
100%. I feel that we're working hard towards it. I have a great team behind me, back home here in South Africa and back in England. So hopefully in the next 3 to 4 years, I can make it to Formula 1.
Well, you know what? I saw you last year. We had this conversation. I'm seeing you this year. So hopefully next year, you'll be even more taller, but even at a better stage. Thank you so much, Mika Abrahams, talking to us there. He's back in the country after a fantastic stint, being out of the car for just about 9 months, but has done very well as he now is in the British F4.